Just got off the elevator, heading out. Gonna get something to eat and hopefully check out the Catholic cathedral in town. So pick up with you later. Best lunch I've had so far. Here. Out this building. So that was a wonderful lunch at Chez Sebastien, and probably the best lunch I've had so far. And it was only 14 euro. And that, that's all inclusive. That includes tip, basically. So really good. And not that far from where I live. So I'm sure I will go back there. It's probably the only, well, the crepe restaurant was really good too. But I definitely would come back to this one. So I'm just taking a minute in the park, even though it's misting out and getting a little bit wet. It's just nice out here, and I like having the cool day and the clouds. And I had an amazing experience in the church and the cathedral. It was just so beautiful. I was raised Catholic, and so when I go into a Catholic cathedral in particular, it's really, it always has an effect on me. It's feels comforting because it's, somewhere that I grew up in that kind of environment. And the cathedrals in Europe are just beautiful. I mean, beautiful. So we just have very few large-scale cathedral-type churches like that in the U.S. that really wow me. So anyway, yeah, it was a nice outing. I'm going to head back in a little bit, and just thought I'd come on here and check in. Okay, so now it's kind of my worst nightmare. I took the bus, left Perpignan, came out to a suburb area, Canoes, I don't know how to say it. And I got kicked off the bus because they don't go back into town. And now I gotta hope there's a bus back to Perpignan. And I'm like 20 minutes, 25 minutes away, so it's not like it's gonna be great to call an Uber at this point. And the bus driver couldn't speak any English, so he couldn't explain to me. I said, well, où est le bus prochain? But anyway, I'll let you know. I'm supposed to do a live stream tonight as I'm filming this, and if I don't get back for that, you know why. So Yeah, this is what I was afraid of. You know, it was pretty easy to get on the bus and do my pass and all that, but I didn't know they just didn't do a loop. No, they don't do a loop. Only certain buses do a loop. I guess. I hope so. I don't know what to do. So I'm a little panicked right now. This is what I was afraid of. I had to call an Uber, 22 euros to get home because there's no bus. I'm stranded out here. This is exactly what I was afraid of, taking the bus, is going somewhere and not getting back. And so now I have to pay for that. So note to self, if I take the bus, I'm not leaving town. I'm not leaving the environs of Perpignan as far as the city bus because it's just dangerous. So, hey, EG here, and it's not the same day as the whole bus episode. In fact, I filmed this the next day, and I wanted to give you an update on some information about what's going on in Perpignan. So I'm fine. If you saw my live stream that night, you know I'm fine. I made it back. I took an Uber. I've decompressed, got through it. I was kind of shaken up for a few hours, but I'm back. And but a viewer sent me a message and said that there had been a bus attack in Perpignan that same day that I rode the bus for the first time. And I thought, really? Like, what's up with that? And it's not that I doubted the viewer. I just, I had to look it up for myself. So I did. And I read a news article that my phone automatically translates from French to English, so I could read it. And yeah, I will read you parts of this. It's actually pretty scary. I, you know, I felt so much. I just want to preface this by saying overall, I have felt so much safer here than even in the US because I've walked around this town a lot, this city a lot. I've never really felt threatened. And riding the bus that day, it wasn't even like, I was threatened by someone on the bus. It was just because I couldn't get back into town, basically. So, but when I read this, it really gave me pause because apparently this happened on Thursday, because that's when I rode the bus and I had my own experience. And then apparently there was even something that happened the evening before with the bus system. So I just want to let you know what happened in Perpignan on the 20th of March. And so this news article, the headline is "A Bus Stoned by a Group of Youths in the Champ de Mars district of Perpignan." And it says about 15 youths burst into a Sankeo bus, which is the bus company, the bus traveling on Avenue Jean Mermoz in Perpignan on Thursday. 3 windows were broken and a passenger was assaulted. 4 people were arrested. No one was injured. Now, I don't really understand why 4 people were arrested when it says there were 15 youths that burst into the bus. So anyway, it said the incident occurred between 8:30 a.m. and 9 a.m. on Thursday, March 20th. And it said a young man stopped the bus at the Boucher stop on line B. Now, I wasn't taking line B. I was taking the number 4 bus. So it was a different bus line. Anyway, it says around 15 youths, some of whom were armed with baseball bats, suddenly burst into the vehicle after breaking 3 of its windows. It says a bus passenger was attacked but managed to escape. Everyone on board quickly got out onto the sidewalk. No injuries were reported. It said a union representative from the Sankeo bus company said the driver's very shocked. 4 people had been arrested on suspicion of participating in the violent action. Then it says here on Wednesday evening, which would have been March 19th, it said another Sankeo bus was also stoned around 10 p.m. at the terminus of Line A in northern Perpignan. Several of the vehicle's windows were broken. Okay, so that's pretty much all I know. That's from the news article. So after reading that, first of all, didn't make me a lot more confident in the buses, to be honest, because I'm not laughing really. It's kind of a nervous laugh, but now I'm thinking, well, maybe the driver that day, obviously all the drivers must have heard about that. It had just happened a few hours before I got on the bus. And I'm thinking he was just extra nervous, or maybe he was shaken up. And so that's why he kind of responded the way he did. So it kind of explains it a little bit more to me about what happened, or the way in which it unfolded, as far as how he reacted to me and not just forcing me to get off the bus, basically. So, yeah. But I gotta tell you, I mean, I guess having the bus attacked at like 10 o'clock at night is not maybe as surprising. And, it's after dark. I'm not going to be riding the buses at night. So that's one thing. But this other bus got attacked in the morning. Yeah, it really did kind of, make me think, I guess is the way to say it. So anyway, I wanted to assure you that I'm okay. I'm fine about it all. But I guess anywhere you go, there is nowadays in the world we live in today, especially, there's always going to be violence. There's always going to be threats. There's always going to be something going on. I mean, it just, it's the way the world works. I mean, there's always been violence in the world too. It's not like it's, just pertaining to the 21st century here. But I think, like I said, it is so coincidental that the very day I rode the bus for the first time was a day they had a really very upsetting attack on the bus system. So anyway, I don't know what to say about it. But anyway, I've moved on. I'm okay. I filmed part of a video today that will come out, in a few, within a week or so. So you'll see what I was up to today. But yeah, it's just kind of interesting that things like that happen and we learn from it. I have not gotten back on a bus, but I intend to in the next day or two. And so, but I definitely am not going outside of the town. Not doing that. So I still need to try to take the bus out to the Mediterranean, and I'm waiting for a really nice day, honestly, to do that, because it's not going to be real pleasant if it's overcast and 50 degrees. So I'm waiting for it to be a little bit nicer, but I tell you, I'm going to make sure that I know. I'm going to be talking to some people ahead of time and make sure I know that there's a way to get back from the Mediterranean to town, because I can't trust that that's not going to do the same thing. I mean, I can get there, but can I get back? That's the question. So I'll bring you along for that. And until next time, be kind always and keep moving forward. Take care. Bye.